What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast, Doctor Theories, episode 97, and it's an emergency episode. I did not expect to make a weekend episode, but I have to because we got to talk about the new College Football 25 video game coming out this summer. So let's get right into it. So I woke up yesterday, and what do I see first? I see that we see a lot of confirms for this new video game, including a video saying that everybody from FBS is going to be in this game. All 134 teams are going to be in this video game. Outstanding news. That is awesome. I can't wait to see everybody in this video game. I had a couple doubts with a couple schools that were saying that potentially they weren't going to be in it. Overall, I kind of figured everybody was going to be in this game. One of the biggest video games, I think, outside of maybe GTA 6 to be anticipated to come out, not just this year, but pretty much ever. I've never seen such a big, almost cult following for a video game like this. I mean, this is unbelievable how many people are talking about it and how many people are excited for a game like this. Like, it's just another sports game, but for all of us that enjoy this game, it is something way more. So I cannot wait to see this game come out. So let's get into all the details, stuff that they said that's going to be in this game, confirmed things that are still up in the air. So let's get into it. So let's start off with the confirmed people that will be in this game. So a lot of people yesterday announced through their social medias that they will be in this game. That is announcers and players. So we'll go through who they are. So we'll start off with the announcers. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit will both be in this game. They were back in the NCAA Football 14 game. They were doing game analyst stuff. So Fowler was play-by-play. Herbie was a game analyst. So if you don't know who these are, Chris Fowler, he is a ESPN primetime game announcer. And Kirk Herbstreit is a primetime game announcer as well as a analyst on College Game Day. So he's been there for, I think, 20 plus years on Game Day. So he is known in the college sport world. We also got news that David Pollack will be in this game. That is very surprising to me. He was fired from ESPN this past season, was not on College Game Day where he was normally. Pat McAfee took over that job for him. So I'm very surprised to see him back. I know he's big into college football. He's a big analyst. A lot of people know the name because of it. But to see him on a most likely ESPN style video game with it's not confirmed. I don't think it's confirmed that it's going to be exactly like an ESPN broadcast or anything like that. But a lot of people are speculating that it is. I would as well, just because ESPN has been the number one provider when it comes to college sports outside of maybe CBS and Fox. But when I think college football, I think ESPN first. So I would not be surprised to see more of an ESPN style, especially with all the rest of these people that are going to be confirmed in it. Jesse Palmer, he is a studio analyst on College Football Live and ABC telecast, and then also a game analyst on ESPN's Thursday night college football games, which is usually the MACtion games. But yeah, so that's another ESPN announcer there. Kevin Connors, he is a full-time Sports Center anchor and a studio host for college football, college basketball, and MLB. That's just another ESPN guy as well. Two other guys, Desmond Howard. Everybody knows him from College Game Day analyst. He went to Michigan. He's been on College Game Day for a long time as well. Not as long as Herbie, but he's been there for a long time. And then we got the host of College Game Day, Reese Davis, also confirmed to be in this game. Very surprised to not see Lee Corso's name in this. He supposedly is still wanting to be on College Game Day. He's 88 years old, so I'm not surprised that they don't want to potentially put him in the game because we don't know what he's going to do throughout the rest of the year. But I am very surprised because we did have him in 2014 and we got to see him make some head picks. I think they had that cut scene. I know definitely in the older games, I think like NCAA 08 when it had the Boise State player on the cover. That's the first college football game I remember playing on the PlayStation 2. He used to make headgear picks before each game if you didn't skip the intro. So that was cool. I think having Lee Corso back in this game, I think would be a lot of fun. Cool little cutscene, especially if you're going to have all these College Game Day guys on. You could have a College Game Day style cutscene for big games, whether it is your game or someone else's game in the season, whatever kind of game mode you're playing. So I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that's something that should be incorporated in there. And another guy we haven't seen, Pat McAfee. He has yet to confirm or deny whether he will be in the game or not. I think with all the controversy about Pat McAfee, a lot of people like him, a lot of people don't. It's really a 50-50 with him. I would not be surprised to not see him in this game, especially when you have David Pollock, who is pretty much what McAfee took over for him. So I would not be surprised to see David Pollock replace Pat McAfee in this video game, and that's the reason why we haven't heard Pat McAfee's name in this. But that's all a speculation. I mean, it's still not confirmed on everybody being in this. We just heard news about all this stuff yesterday. So it's the kind of thing where we could see McAfee, we could not. I hope we see McAfee. I love his energy, especially if we're not going to get Corso. We need some sort of energy in that video game. I think McAfee will bring that. So hopefully he is in the video game. If not, it's not going to be the end of the world. We'll be a little disappointed about that. Let's get into some of the players. So we actually got a lot of players. I will pop up everybody's name on the screen, but a couple names to tell out. We got Travis Hunter, the two-way star from Colorado, Jalen Milroe, quarterback from Alabama, and Will Johnson, DB from Michigan. So a lot of big names already out there. A lot more names are already coming out. I put those names out there for you guys. A couple other teams, or another team said that most likely all 85-man roster will be expected to opt in, and that is Michigan State. So Michigan State's whole team is expected to be opting in to the video game, so that's cool for you Spartan fans out there. And for some players, they will also get additional offers to promote the game through their social media. So everybody will be getting the same offer to be opting into the game, which we'll discuss later in the episode. But everybody, or some of these players with bigger names, I'm guessing like the Sander brothers, Travis Hunter, maybe Jalen Milroe as well. Those kind of players will get additional offers to help promote the game. It definitely is not going to be needing promoting, but I definitely could see a lot of those kind of players getting the extra offer, the extra money to say, hey, I'm going to be in the game, you guys should go get it, or I'm playing the game kind of thing. It's going to define whether or not those players are announcing that they want to promote the game, but it's just another thing that I've been seeing, and just expect it to be out on one of the bigger college football personalities out there right now. So let's get into the features of the game. So we got a lot more confirmed features. If you guys have been watching the past Wednesday news episodes, we have been covering as much as I've been able to see of college football video game 25. So if you haven't realized that, go check out the past episodes. Go to the college football section and just check it out. I mean, most episodes have had something since the release of the teaser trailer. So go check those out. There's some extra stuff that I will not include in here just because it's just repetitive. So let's get into the new features. So we have confirmed that a player will be back in this, but for the players that have opted out, they will not be able to be created. What does that mean? I don't know. If it means that they're going to block out these players' names from being used, so if you change out one letter, it would still be fine. I don't know how they're going to regulate that. That seems very interesting to me, but somehow the video game EA is going to be able to block off creating opted out players, which I doubt a lot of star players are going to be opting out. So I don't really think we're going to see a lot of people creating players that are opting out. That is something, I don't know how they're going to regulate it, but it seems interesting as well. Coaches will not be in the game. So there was a little bit of blurb saying that coaches might be in this game. I'm okay not having coaches in this. I think just having generic coaches is fine. I don't really see the drive to have those guys in there. Each school will have a different playbook and a play style based off of what they do in real life during games. So people are saying people from EA are pretty much saying you're going to have 134 different ways to play this game, meaning 134 different teams. So if a team is more of an option team, like the Naval Academy or Army or Air Force, I think is also an option team, their playbook's going to be mainly options and mainly runs. But if you get a team that just throws the ball a lot, you're going to have a playbook that throws the ball a lot. So I think it's really, really cool not to have the exact playbook, but have the style of that playbook. It's something different. I like that a lot. Playoff and conference realignment will be customizable in this game. So back in NCAA 14, we had conference realignment, which if you were playing you tried your best to keep up with all the conferences going on and stuff like that, and make the old FBS schools similar to like the new FBS schools, whether it was like you don't have a Coastal Carolina, you try to swap out one of the teams that are in there to make it seem like it's a Coastal Carolina, that kind of stuff. That will be back. I like that a lot, especially with people 50-50 about how the conference realignment is. You can make your old conferences, the old Pac-12, the old Big Ten, the old SEC, all that kind of stuff. You can bring that all back. Having the playoffs customizable is very fun, and we're going to see a lot of content creators make those kind of things. So we're going to see things like going back to a 4-man playoff or make it a 16-man playoff. We're going to have a confirmed 12-team playoff, so that's going to be in the game, of course. But maybe we have an 8-team playoff. Maybe we have a 6-team playoff. There's going to be a lot of choices, I would think. I wouldn't think anything more than maybe like a 25, so top 25 makes playoffs, which would be a crazy playoff to play. But it would be fun to see and see the simulations on what these top 25 schools would do and things like that. So that's going to be a lot of fun for content creators. I think I might dabble a little bit with that as well. That'd be a lot of fun, but that's just something as well that is going to be just like NCAA 14, besides having an expanded playoffs or a shrunken playoffs. FCS schools will likely not be in the game at launch. What does that mean? That means we're probably going to see a DLC or major game update halfway through the year to bring in some of these FCS schools. One person that I saw that said this, said the Citadel, they threw the Citadel out there. They're an FCS school. I could see teams like that coming into it. I don't know who else would be in here. Maybe like a North Dakota State, South Dakota State, like those bigger name teams coming into here. I don't know how they would implement that as a DLC. Will it be a $20 extra? Will it be a $5 extra? Will it just be a free major game update that's going to be 20 gigabytes or whatever for the game just to have these FCS schools? Service Academy players will be allowed to opt into the game despite not being able to do NIL deals outside of this. So that's cool. I like having the option for schools like Air Force, Army, and Navy to be able to opt into these games, even though they're not able to get NIL deals outside of this video game. Transfer portal and NIL are confirmed to be in the game. That is going to be tough when you play franchise mode or whatever they're going to call that. Dynasty mode, that's dynasty mode. That's going to be tough when you have small schools. When you're trying to rebuild, like maybe a team like Sam Houston, who's going to be in the game for the very first time. You want to try and make their team the best team in the country, and you're going to lose a lot of guys to NIL and transfer portal just because of how much money they have. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be very interesting to see how that is going to be played in. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but it's going to be really fun, really interesting. And lastly, an EA executive did say the game will be completely different from Madden. What does this mean? I mean, that means a lot. I mean, I hear a lot of bad things about Madden. I haven't bought Madden in probably 2 or 3 years now, just because it's been the same game over and over again, and I have not been interested to play it at all. Madden just has not been appealing to a lot of people outside of content creators and people that just like football that much. When you have the 50-50 people who potentially have a football game and want to play a football game, then yeah, they might go and buy it, but they're not going to buy it every single year. And that's kind of where I am on this game. So having a game that's going to feel different and not exactly look different, because it's going to be the same engine as Madden, but it's going to be more detail into it when it comes to the stadium atmosphere, little things like that. And I think it's going to be a lot more fun. So if you're 50-50 about playing this game, don't be, because it's going to be well worth it. So as we mentioned at the top of the show, players are going to be opting in. So what does that mean? All 134 FBS schools are opting in. All the major Power 5 schools are going to be in it. So you got Arizona State, which of course is my favorite team. So I can't wait for that. And you got schools like even Arizona's going to be in it. Like, shit, they gave them the offer. That's impressive. You guys are very lucky down there in Tucson. So you guys get to play with your little school down there. So congrats. All 85 scholarship players will be sent a contract offer to be in the game. So that means they are receiving emails right now that was sent out yesterday to the scholarship players, and pretty much saying, like, if you want to opt in, this is what you have to do. You have to get some sort of app and go through the process on that app. I don't know exact details because, of course, I don't get those emails. But if you opt in, you say yes, you will receive $600 and a copy of the game. So this is actually a very good little paycheck, I think. I mean, $600 for a player who's like third string on the cornerback, or maybe you got honestly just somebody who's not so outgoing on NIL deals. $600 is a lot for these guys, so I think that's actually a very good offer. Copy of the game that you're going to be in. That's also a great offer as well. I don't think guys in the NFL get that offer. I don't think they get a free game as well. So that's pretty cool right there. When you got players like the Sander brothers or something like that, $600 is not going to be that much to them. But for them just to say they're in a video game, I don't know why you would argue that. So if you're one of those players that are arguing it, shut up. Just take the $600, take the free copy of the game, and be in a video game. Not everybody gets this chance, and there's not going to be a lot of you that are going into the NFL to be in that video game. So take the chance, take it, and say you're going to be in College Football 25, because not a lot of people are going to be able to say that. So that's a great offer. EA says they're expected to have nearly 11,000 players to say yes. That's a lot of people to go through. Honestly, they have a lot of time still to make all these. I don't know if they can do head scans or they're just going to try and match as well as possible to certain players. But that's a lot of people to go through. So they got a lot of time, but they got to get on it now. Walk-ons will not be able to be in the game unless they made their way onto the depth chart. Self-explanatory right there. If you don't opt in, player slots will be filled in with a random player with a random name like we've had in the past. So if you have Xbox or PlayStation, you have the new gen consoles, then you will have a chance to look up on the stores the College Football 25 video game. I mean, as of right now, you could look on the store and it's there as an option to be on your wish list for PlayStation. I don't have Xbox, but I saw some screenshots. These are some of the things that I saw. Just kind of a normal outline of the game. I don't think there was any screenshots of the game as well, but there were some features that we could see. There was a local co-op, kind of expected classic multiplayer, also expected online multiplayer, expected, and Xbox cross-platform multiplayer. So I'm thinking this means that we're going to see an Xbox versus PlayStation game, which is great. I mean, I like seeing that, especially because I got a couple friends who have Xboxes. I'm a PlayStation guy. I have Xboxes, and they're not going to be able to play with me or vice versa if there's no cross-plat. So hopefully this cross-plat is true. So what am I most excited for when it comes to this game? It's been 11 years since we've had this game. I mean, this game has not been out for a long time. I think this is the kind of thing where it's such a cult following game that we've had people use almost like a jailbreak video game to use as that College Football 14 game. And we've seen people find ways to mod those games to make it as more modern as possible, changing teams' names to make it a Coastal Carolina team, or to get more uniforms, or to change the graphics of the scoreboard to make it more like a modern ESPN scoreboard. We've seen so many stuff just to have some sort of video game, and it's definitely worth the wait. So that's the reason why I'm so excited for this game. Other details like getting game day atmosphere. They're going to games and asking people for soundtracks, taking pictures of stadiums. They're trying to be as so detailed as possible when it comes to like even uniforms and mascots. So I'm loving that. I'm hoping that comes out well, because we've seen some screenshots as we looked in that past episode. A lot of good screenshots of the details of the jerseys and the mascots and how much stuff is going into them. So I'm loving how much detail they're putting into it. And I'm really hoping that it pays off, because we've had 11 years. We were supposed to have it last year. They pushed it back a year. So having that extra year to do even more detail work, I'm really hoping it works. So the release date, it's unclear right now. A lot of people are saying July because the 2013 and 2014 video game did come out in those months. So we don't know it right now. All we know is it will be coming out the summer of this year. So my money is on July. We could be getting it sooner. With all the hype, I don't know they want to make it sooner, but they have that availability for them. May will be the official trailer drop. So by then, I expect we will know a date, whether it is the days leading up to the trailer or when the trailer drops, it will be at the very end of the trailer kind of thing, like in a movie where it says the date, or at least the month. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm at least hoping for the month. I don't know how detailed they want to be when it comes to that, so they don't give up too much expectation, but I could see that happening when it comes out in the trailer. Last thing I want to mention, covers. So a lot of people are talking about covers. Who's going to be on the cover? What's going to be on the cover? Is there going to be a specific player, coach, school on the cover, or is it going to be very generic? So a lot of people are saying put the past Heisman winners on. I think that's actually a really good idea. I really like that one the most. I think having all the players from the Oklahoma days, back to back, we got Mayfield, Hurts, my bad, Jalen Hurts. And you got a lot of players that just, Jaden Daniels from last year, that deserve to be on the cover, would be on the cover if there were video games still moving out. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. Give a little recognition to all those players there. Some people are saying Nick Saban having almost like a legacy edition. We're going to see probably multiple editions of this, but we're going to see probably a standard edition, some sort of pre-ordered edition, and some sort of like digital copy edition. So I could see a Nick Saban being a like legacy edition, which was probably like a pre-order. I could see that happening. I don't know if they want to put Nick Saban on the cover there. I'm not sure how EA feels about putting just a solid coach and shouting out Alabama as being the cover. That would get a lot of negativity from the fans outside of Alabama. So I don't know if they want to bring that onto them. Some people are saying just put someone big in football right now, which the first person I think of is probably Shedeur Sanders. I personally would not want to put a Sanders on the cover. It's just going to boost that ego even more. And he's also 50-50 about do people like him, do people don't. So I don't know if EA wants to do that. Some people are saying just put some of the past players that have been solid, like a Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. That kind of goes back to the Heisman talk. I'd rather see a Heisman down the cover over just a random player like Bo Nix. I mean, Bo Nix is great, but I'd rather see a Heisman Trophy winner on the cover. I personally would say a collage of teams or players, almost like a conference cover. So I could see a potentially, let's just react to it. I made a cover, and I popped up to the screen right now. This is a cover of the Big 12. So have each Power 5 conference gets a cover. You get to choose when you're pre-ordering which cover you want. And this would be like a Big 12. So you got Western Michigan at the top, Arizona State, Baylor, Kansas, Houston, Kansas State. Then you got Oklahoma State with the helmet, the Bearcat of Cincinnati, UCF logo, Iowa State, U of A, Utah, Colorado, TCU, BYU, and Texas Tech, all covering on the cover, all represented with that texture of like their ripped paper, which we've been seeing a lot when it comes to these teaser trailer things that announced that 134 teams. They had this paper ripping effect. So I put that on the cover as well with a little bit of a drop shadow. Just very simple. You don't have to do too much to it, but it represents all the schools of that conference. So I could see this being a fun little collage cover. Maybe there's the SEC one. Notre Dame might be getting their own one, or maybe they're included with the ACC, so they're not left out or something like that. Big Ten might get a good one as well. So I can see a lot of things happen. You can just put mascots on there, stadiums, helmets, logos. I'd say just avoid coaches and players, just represent the schools. And then from there, you can move on to players or coaches from college football 26, 27, and so forth. So I think that would probably be the smartest thing. That's honestly what I would like to see. I think this is actually a really cool cover. It didn't take me that long to do. It took me maybe an hour to do. The biggest thing was just trying to find the right picture to represent whatever school it is, whether it's the helmet, the school art or statue or mascot, something like that. Another thing is live mascot edition. I love live mascots, having a cover with like Ralphie, Bevo, Uga, just to name a few. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think those get a lot of people going, the live mascots. So that would be also a really cool addition as well. Well, hey guys, that will do it for this episode. I appreciate you guys checking out the reaction. Episode 97 in the books. I will probably still try and cover as much College Football 25 talk in those Wednesday news episodes, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm trying to get not too excited about this game because it's still got a long ways to go, but they keep coming out with these kind of things. I'm just stoked. Can't wait, and I can't wait till July. I mean, May is going to be awesome with the trailer. July, most likely, the game will be out by then, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm stoked, so hopefully you guys are as well. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Check us out on audio versions on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you guys follow those. Links down below for the Instagram and Twitter. So we got a lot of social media stuff so you guys can follow, keep up to date with the podcast. So I appreciate you guys checking this one out, and have an awesome weekend. We'll see you guys later.